Okay, folks, like, share, subscribe. If you like this podcast, your donations are always welcome, and there should be a donation button, a PayPal button on the side. So look for the donation button. And again, I appreciate all your donations and anything and everything you can to help keep me so I can continue to bring you good content day in and day out. I greatly appreciate it, folks. Your donations are always welcome. Okay, links are on the side and down below. All right, let's get into it. I want to talk about something today that's very controversial. Matter of fact, this podcast is going out in the United States all over, as well as other countries. It's going out to a lot of the big other countries, going out to the UK. And, of course, I see Russia, India, Japan, Germany. So this podcast is slowly but surely making its way all around the world. So I appreciate all my listeners from all the above mentioned in all the countries. Again, I greatly appreciate you tuning in and listening, and I will try to always deliver the very best content I can possibly give you guys. So I want to mention something today, very controversial, as I started to say. And it has to do with, here's this taboo, get ready, drum roll please, the cancel culture. The cancel culture and the political correctness, as we've seen in 2019, of course, 2020, a lot, and now we're seeing it big time in 2021. The cancel culture is out of control. What I mean by that specifically, let me define this. The cancel culture back, let's go back maybe even 5 years, certain things they would let slide, such as if you're white, black, yellow, brown, green, who knows, even a space alien, they wouldn't care. But now all of a sudden, the cancel culture, if you're too white, if you're too this, if you're too that, we don't like you. It's now racism. If you post something from the cancel culture, and this is predominantly what I wanted to talk about, it means that it doesn't hurt my feelings any, it hurts somebody else's feelings. So now I'm responsible for somebody else's feelings here in supposed to be the last free, great country in the entire world that values freedom, known as the United States of America. That's not true anymore. This cancel culture has gotten out of control. This cancel culture, I can give you a classic example. I posted something on LinkedIn, and because I posted something that somebody on LinkedIn found offensive, although the post, and I'll just give you a little background so you guys know, the post was about Bill Gates and the insanity that we're pushing this RNA shot, this vaccine that's supposed to work. But anybody that has half a brain, anybody around outside of the United States, because obviously we're half brain dead here in the United States, is what it seems like. Anybody that would check any publication anywhere, any type of alternative news, knows that people within a certain criteria are dying. And so I reposted rather an article to LinkedIn just dealing with Bill Gates, and it was a podcast, and it got abruptly removed. So I've been on LinkedIn and have a following of about 11,000, little over 11,000, not quite 12,000, between 11.5 and 12,000 is where I stand on LinkedIn. Most normal people, folks, on LinkedIn, supposed to be a business site, most normal people there maybe have maybe a couple hundred people, contacts, maybe 5, maybe 700, okay, maybe 1,000 if you're really, really, really good. And I didn't try this. It's just when I post things sometimes, folks, people tend to naturally gravitate to what I'm posting. I don't do that on purpose. I don't try to piss people off. If something, people, you have to understand one thing about me. If I post something, I don't have a dog in the fight, or in other words, I'm not posting something to piss you off. I'm not posting something because I want to appeal to your feelings or virtue signal left or right, like this cancel culture is trying to do to me and everybody else, and they did to President Trump on Twitter and so many others, hundreds of conservatives and just people that want open and free speech. They're trying to cancel us completely out of existence is what's going on. And so, again, going back to my what I was just saying, my preference is that when you post something, and even though I've been on a site, I give you an example, I've been on LinkedIn over 7 or 8 years, Twitter 10 years, I've never had an issue. Twitter is a little bit different because I got a huge following, 100,000 plus on Twitter. LinkedIn, I have a large following for business. I have a huge following. And so this kind of set me back a little bit, and it didn't set me back, but it just made me realize that, again, the cancel culture is alive and well. The political correctness is alive and well. If you're walking down the street, and if, according to this left-wing cancel culture, you look the wrong way, you stare the wrong way, you even breathe the wrong way, they want to yell and scream, you're a racist, bigotist, or you're homophobe. And then besides that, what they want to do is they want to cancel you out of existence. And that's what you have to understand, folks. This cancel culture is very, very, very serious. We as a society, we as a whole, we as a open global society and world need to do something. We're living in a world whereby, I'll give you another example. If you say Merry Christmas back in my day, it's quite all right here in the United States. Now with the cancel culture the last 3, 4, 5 years, especially now, it's extreme. You're a racist. Well, why is that? Well, you're a religious homophobe, or you're this, or you're that. You can't even have anything to do with religion. You can't even have anything to do with sharing your feelings. You can't even have anything unless the collective meaning that's what they want to politispeak. If you talk a certain way, they don't like that. They want to cancel you out of existence. And it's very frustrating for somebody like me. I grew up in the North and then have been down here in Central Florida for just about 18 years now. So I grew up in the North up there in Michigan, and so we spoke and we said what we wanted. We communicated and negotiated and discussed. Sometimes we yelled, rant, and raved, just like any normal person growing up, any normal kid and any normal adult. Sometimes you have disagreements. That's part of life, folks. That's part of society. That's part of life. That's how our Creator, God Almighty, made us. So the cancel culture does not approve of God. The cancel culture only approves of whatever they say at the moment and the minute. So in other words, if abortion's cool, which according to the left, it's always been cool, not to me, but to the left it is, then that's okay. Then anybody and everybody should run out and get abortions. Whereby you go back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that was unheard of. Abortions were down quite low back then. Again, it's the society changing right before us, where good is bad and bad is good. The sky is no longer blue. The sky is whatever color, that they say that it is on any given day. Used to be right was right and wrong was wrong. No longer with the cancel culture, with this insanity in society. And we're talking about primarily a lot of the millennial culture, a lot of now these Zoomers growing up, and it's very, very, very insane for me to sit there and actually witness this stuff. They want to cancel God. They want to cancel your job, and they're doing a good job of that with the coronavirus, and they're using the scare tactics and the fear porn to be able to do that. They want to go through and anything and everything they don't like, they want to just plain cancel you, folks. So that's what you have to realize is going on in society. We're transitioning into a society of whatever was wrong in the past and always has been wrong is now correct and is now right. Whatever is right and has always been right throughout history is now wrong. And they think by erasing history, erasing mankind, erasing our Creator God Almighty, and they think by totally erasing the world, they can create this perfect utopia of what these socialist, what these cancel culture, society, cult followers and cult believers, and what these virtue signaling people believe in. And it's not true. And most of these are far left wingers. I give you people like AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and that culture. They're growing up, again, the millennials, they're out of contact with reality. The millennials and a lot of people always tell me, "Oh, well, you don't understand. You're this, you're that. You're too old, or blah 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 blah." And the first thing they say is, "We're going to change the world. We're going to change society. We're going to start a revolution." And my reply to that is, I sit back, I look, and I laugh, because I've been through a few things in my life. I look back and I laugh, and when they say this cancel culture is going to change the world and change society and start a revolution, I look back and I say, you can't even start a lawnmower. What makes you think you can even start a revolution? You know nothing of the world. You know nothing of society. You know nothing whatsoever of creation, and you know nothing certainly about humanity. A wise person, much wiser than me, once taught me that if you want to be able to understand the future, you must first understand your past. And so that was a person that is much smarter than myself, told me that once, and I firmly believe that. You must be a firm study of history and realize that history always repeats itself, folks. We always go through these cycles. We always go through this up and down crap. This is just humanity. And that's because sin is sin is sin, and people continue to sin all over the world. People continue to do bad things in the world. That's why history always can and always will repeat itself throughout our existence, is because human nature and sin, those two things. And people can argue with me, and I've had debates with people, and very, very brilliant people, much more so than myself, and we've debated the issue, but that's the bottom line, because of human nature and sin. That's why history always repeats itself. So we're going through a phase right now. We're going through the cancel culture. If you're not politically correct, if you post the wrong thing, which obviously I did, if I post an opinion, if I post commentary about Bill Gates or George Soros or heaven forbid, Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or somebody or anybody, even Donald Trump. Well, not so much Donald Trump, because the left hates Donald Trump, but anybody else on the left, if I dare criticize anybody without them approving what I'm going to say first, and only for a certain period of time, they'll cancel me too. So let me know what you think of the podcast, folks. I've rambled for a little while here. I hope you like, share, subscribe if you like the podcast. Donation links are on the side, and links are on the side so you can see. Like, share, subscribe. You like the podcast. Stay well, stay safe, and most importantly, God bless.